Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, we're starting a new segment of the show, which will be about giving you tips on how to play better. Today's episode is tips on how to play better solos, and we'll be doing this every month. We'll be doing tips on how to play better. Today's tip is using the chord to your favor. Usually, when we play like in A, for example, and let's do a blues because it's my thing and just because. If we're playing a blues in A, and right before we started the lesson, if you're wondering if this is a new guitar, yes it is. It's a new chop tank, a new next chop tank with tremolo, maple neck, but I won't talk about the guitar in this episode. Next episode will be all about my new necks, just in case you're wondering. So if we're playing a blues in A, the A chord is your best friend. First thing you have to know is to play all the notes on the A chord, and in this case A dominant, A7, with individually. So I'm not even saying for you to play the arpeggio, the full arpeggio, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. I'm just saying play the notes that you play in the chord. Okay, so these notes are your best friends because they all fit perfectly in the chord. So by playing these notes, you can play any other note, and you just need to end it on one good note. Okay, let me show you what I mean, and then we'll talk about some practice tips. So I've recorded an A chord in my Ditto looper. Get it? So I'm playing all the notes in the A chord. Okay. But I'm ending all my phrasing on one of the 4 notes of the chord: the 1, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. Okay, so as long as I'm playing those 4 notes, I'm always good. Like, for example, the Champagne and Reefer Muddy Waters riff, which is. This is actually Rock Me Baby, B.B. King's Rock Me Baby. Champagne and referees. It's similar but different. But they both are ending in the chord notes. So the way for you to practice this is, for example, to have, I always say this, get yourself a looper, get yourself a way of recording some basic backing tracks for you, some simple backing tracks, just for you to be able to play in contexts, because it's super different to play than to play it on top of. And I'm playing the arpeggio, but you can play just the chords, the notes in your chords. So one note per string. The exact notes you're playing. You end up with very great patterns because you're not playing what is expected to be playing. You're not playing the full arpeggio in its right order. You're jumping notes. So you're playing 1, 5, 7, 3, 7, 1. So it's a different arpeggio. And you end up with voicings like this, which are probably stranger sounding than. Okay, so you can play things like. Okay, and then you can blues it up by playing the pentatonic, the minor and major. What I usually tell to my students is that you can play your whole vocabulary or all your licks that you know, but then instead of doing, for example, if you do a blues lick like, okay, this is a valid one. I'll do it slowly. You can do it this way, but you can also finish this lick, instead of finishing it in the tonic and the one, the root note, finish it in one of the other notes from the chords, like the 7 or the 3rd or the 5. Okay, so let's try it on the 7. On the 3rd. Or on the 5. Okay, and this will give you a very different result. So, for example, I will do ending it on the root, ending it on the 7th, ending it on a 3rd, and ending it on the 5th sequentially. So you'll hear it. How does it sound on top of an A chord? Get it? I just used a lick that I know and that I use a lot, but just changed the ending of the lick, which makes for a totally different lick. And if I'm ending it on a 7, I'm ending it like, but I can end it higher. which will do a totally different lick. And this is the ending it on the 1, but 1 octave above. So using this chord, this shape of chord, to play your blues. And then when you go to D, to the 4th, you do the same thing. Use all your licks. So I'm playing, this is a super Hendrix thing, and even more Stevie Ray, playing, when you change to the 4th, you play as if you were, in this case, in D. So I will record a loop. Okay, so using a blues loop, notice how I do this lick, but ending it in different ways. And when we go to the D chord, I will do it, or, for example. Okay, so I'm always using, I'm exaggerating it, and it sounds a little like an exercise because I'm doing it in an obvious way for you to understand. So the first thing we need to practice is to memorize perfectly where the notes of the chord sit. So you need to watch you need to be able to look at your guitar's neck, your guitar's fretboard, and to see where you should be fretting. Like if there was a light turning on, this, and this, for example. Like those drawings when you use the chord, the box, those boxes for writing the chords. You need to be able to perfectly see it here, because when you are playing your pentatonic, those are the notes that you should light, that you should focus on. And you can do chromatic stuff like, for example. We have a bass, let's practice. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do it with a rhythmic pattern. And as you can see, this, if you have your minor pentatonic, the chord notes that don't exist in the minor pentatonic is just the major third, because all the other notes belong to the minor pentatonic. So the 1 is on the minor pentatonic, the 5 is on the minor pentatonic, the flat 7 is on the minor pentatonic. Only the third one is an adding to the minor pentatonic. So if you're used to play your minor pentatonic licks, the note that will bring you more difference and more new stuff to your playing will be the third. So when you're playing on top of A, just try to add the major third. And you can even add it on. So you can play the minor third and the major third. So you'll end up, instead of having a pentatonic scale, you end up having an hexatonic scale. So you have 6 notes. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you have your hexaphonic scale. Now, if you add the blue note, the flat 5, to the pentatonic, you have the blues scale. So also a 6-note scale. So let's practice. If you don't know this scale, it's good to practice. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you can add to this scale, to the blues scale, which is a 6-note scale, you can add the major third, and you'll end up with a 7-note scale with a huge chromatism with a chromatic progression in between. So let's add the major third to the blues scale, or if you want to think about it in a different way, let's add the major third and the flat 5 to the major scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you end up with a very blue sounding scale. Let's play it on top of the A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you should practice this a lot so you memorize the scale, so you get it on your fingers. Then you can start to play leads and licks and adding this different notes, but especially falling on the notes that belong to the chord. So the arpeggio. And there's a lot of riffs based on this chord arpeggio stuff. I'm just not. It is an arpeggio, but I just don't like to call it arpeggio because usually arpeggios are in a specific order. So you play the 1 3 5 7, 1 3 5 7, 1 3 5 7. In here you're playing the chord you already know. You're playing it like an arpeggio, but you're not learning anything new. You're just playing it differently. So you're playing. You can even play it without moving your hand. So these are your notes. These are your friends. And then you can add any of these notes to your licks, especially when you finish it, because that's the lick that the note that is more pronounced in your lick usually. So you can do like a, imagine you have the, yeah, you can end this in any other of the notes. Eric Clapton does it a lot. He ends a lot of licks on the 5, which gives him a specific resolution. And then you can do all sorts of licks, like even a blues ending, like. You can do it. Get it? I ended up on the 3rd. On a 7. Even on the 5. But when you play it by your own, it looks like you're playing the E chord. But if you play it on top of an A, it belongs to the chord. And it gives you an ending, a different ending. It is a different flavor to spice up your solo. So this is an episode on tips on how to improve your solos. This is not the only thing you can do, of course. This is giving you some tips to spice it up and to make it new and fresh for you, for your playing. That's super important. And the tip of the tips for that thing is play with people. Try to play with other people. You will get so much better in so shorter time. Play with other human beings. Music is a sharing thing, is supposed to be played with other people and for other people. So try to do it as much as you can. Try to get a group of friends to play. Try to go to jam sessions. Try to play at home with your backing track, but preferably try to play with other people. That's the best thing about music. Since we're talking about teaching some things, some guitar things, I've been asked a lot if I can teach classes. Yes, I'm doing it via Skype. If you want to have classes with me, guitar classes, you can send me a private message through YouTube or via Facebook, my Facebook page that I will, it's probably here if I didn't forget to add it in the edit part. You can reach me and we'll talk about it, and we try to make it about what you need to learn, and that's it. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you have liked the show. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. The more subscribers we have, the more good things we can do. So please subscribe it and share it with the world. We'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.